Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. In today's video I want to have a look at altcoins and specifically how they've held up compared to Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, highest market cap crypto. I've been saying in every single one of my videos that you shouldn't be putting your money in an altcoin during these bear market periods of the crypto cycle, of the crypto space. And the reason I've said that is because Bitcoin is the biggest market cap. It's the backbone of the crypto space. It moves the least volatile out of all the assets. And when long term you need to hold an asset, you want to choose the one that isn't going to move as crazily as possible. If you're going through a sustained down period, you want the moves to be as small as possible because you're in a downward period. When you're in a bull market, yeah, sure, put your money in a few alts. They might 10x, 20x, whatever. But when you know you're in a bear market, you've hit your peaks, and you've dropped whatever stupid amounts, you want to start looking at putting your money into Bitcoin. But I've only ever brought this up when I've been doing one-on-one comparisons with altcoins. And, it's situational maybe, perhaps. I've only done it with a few altcoins. And I've only said it fleetingly, and maybe I haven't given a proper explanation or, looked at it from another perspective. So that's what I want to do in this video. I've taken 5 altcoins, and I want to try to take 5 altcoins that I haven't covered in videos, just so I get a broad sort of range of coins. I've got a couple layer 1s. I'm comparing ETH, because I think it's an important one to be aware of. I think ETH and BTC are just always ones that you want to know the most about. I've got BNB, because it's also a top market layer 1. It's the 3rd biggest crypto. I've got DOGE because I wanted a meme coin. I wanted to see how they hold up long term in bad market conditions. I've got Solana because it's its niche sort of own layer 1. It's got its agenda, which is speed focused, and it's got its downs as well with not the best security and not the best uptime. And I also got Matic because I wanted a layer 2. So I've got a few different coins from a few different areas, and I'm going to put them through some very nice visual criteria sort of tests to see how they've done over this last 2-year sort of period. And I was thinking about putting them in Satoshi value, but I think just for the first video of this series I'm going to have it in US dollar value so that anybody can watch this video and understand. And then as it goes on, we can sort of bring in slightly more complicated or things that need more of an explanation. So, getting straight into it. The first sort of indicator that I wanted to look at was peak to date, because that often shows how well an asset is currently performing in its cycle. Now for Bitcoin, peaked at 69,000, and we're currently at 30k. Which is a 56% drop. So really, for a bear market in crypto, we're not doing too bad right now. We're not doing too bad. And that's if you bought at the very top, which most of you probably didn't. Now, maybe you bought, 57, 50k, whatever. But, for the extreme, it's 56. You can't be any worse than that currently. And for Ethereum, which will be our first altcoin that we'll look at, is currently 60.5%, and Ethereum 56 point whatever. So 4%, 4.3, whatever you want to call it, 4% difference, which isn't very much. And we'll see with this Bitcoin ETH pair that they're very similar in their movements. So break even there, we'll say. Pretty close. Now, for the second one, I want to look at peak to low. Now, I think this is a very important one because it shows sort of how much it will move during the cycle. Now, I'm not saying the lows are in for this cycle yet. I'm honestly not too sure. I think we might test them and maybe we'll push below, but I think the current lows that we have are around the lows that we'll get, around that range. For BTC anyway. For alts, it could go anyway. So for BTC, we're looking at 77.6%. For ETH, from its peak to its low pre-FTX, it's 81%. So again, BTC just a neck ahead, you know, tiny bit of a lead. But if you want to look at ETH from its peak to its FTX crash, which was, we were measuring it second week after for BTC, you can see that it's about 78%. So basically neck and neck with Bitcoin there, you know, like a tiny bit more, but that's negligible, you know. So we'll say neck and neck again for BTC and ETH, you know, BTC with a slight noticeable lead, but, you know, nothing too extreme. Now, the next one I look at is low to date. So for Ethereum, the low to date is 112%. Looking at the actual low. So that's a 2x on your money, plus a little bit more. For BTC, we're about the same. We're 96%. So Ethereum has a sort of, I think that's about 98 actually, roughly. But Ethereum has a good 10-14% lead on BTC from its actual low. But if you wanted to look at the FTX low that we're currently using for Bitcoin, we can see that it's actually 80% for ETH. So Bitcoin would actually be leading. So, you know, there are a few ways that you might want to look at things, but depending what way you slice it, Bitcoin or ETH can win that. So I'm going to put them as break even. I know ETH technically has the bigger price increase from, you know, low to current, but, you know, it's, yeah, fair. ETH does, but Bitcoin beat it the last few times, and it's not really a big deal for this pair. Now, I want to have the year to date. So we'll have a look at last week of June, the low to current price. For Bitcoin, we're up 65%. For ETH, last week of June, low to current price, 92%. So ETH outperforming Bitcoin there quite a bit. And then we'll have a look at the 6 month, which is currently for ETH is up 60%, and BTC is up 84%. So really, kind of, you know, Bitcoin's performed better in the short term. ETH has performed better in the semi-short, medium term. And in general, BTC has kind of not done as poorly as ETH, but it's really neck and neck, really. There's not much of a difference. And this is because, of course, both of them have the two highest market caps, so you need more buying or selling power to move the price in any direction for these two, comparatively to, you know, any other altcoin that might have however many billions less in market cap. So that's ETH done. Hopefully that helps you make an opinion. The next one I want to look at is BNB. Now, BNB is Binance's coin, build and build. It hasn't done great, really, in the last year. But, of course, we'll get these measurements out now. So, from peak to date, BNB is looking at a minus 65%. So, worse than Bitcoin. Bitcoin was 55. So, already, you're losing 10% more of your money if you're holding BNB. Now, if you're looking at the peak we looked at with Bitcoin around the same time period, you're minus 64%. So not a huge difference, you know. You're still losing about 10% of your money if you had it in BNB. Now, peak to low, we'll have a look at this peak again, just to see the extremes. You're minus 72%, which is, I'll remeasure that because I'm slightly off on these. 73% roughly, plus a little bit, which is better than BTC. Technically, BTC was 78%, I think. So BNB doing slightly better than its highest to its lowest. But you can see BNB is kind of actually at its lowest point right now. It's not too far away from its lows. And that's what I was saying with these altcoins. I don't think the worst is in. I think we're due more pain. Now, you know, looking at low to date, we're up, whatever, 30%? Yeah, 30%. Very poor price action. Now, if you want to be generous to BNB and say before the drop, you're up 70%. So not too bad, but still not as good as Bitcoin. Bitcoin was 80-90% before this horrible crash. And then, you know, looking at your 1 year, well, you're going to be basically the same here as your low to date. A 15% move up. This is 15% away from its lows, basically. And then the 6 month is going to be no different, I don't think. I think this is literally the 6 month here. Yeah, negligible. I'd say like literally 2%. So BNB has done very poorly. And if you want to be really generous and say, measure it from this sort of range before its drop, still 30%. Terrible compared to Bitcoin. So really, you could have, if you put your money in Bitcoin, you at its peak, either you'd be doing much better than you would BNB in all aspects. So far, my hypothesis of put your money in Bitcoin is true for this one alt. So now we'll have a look at Doge. And you know, I have a feeling that maybe putting your money in a meme coin for a long period of time over a bear market might actually prove my point right, you know? I think this might be a bit of an easy win for me. But anyway, from peak to date, down 91% roughly. Not great, you know? No investment, you want to see down 91%. That's pretty rough. There should be, you know, red flags going there if you bought at peak and are still hodling Doge. But hey, nothing in this video is financial advice. Do what you want to do. Now, peak to low, I can't imagine this will be much different because it's already so low. I think that's my lowest, yeah. 93.5%. So not much of a difference, but I mean, it may not seem like, oh, it's just next to 3% from the all-time high. I mean, these drops here, these are 50%. These drops here, these are 60-70%, you know? So an extra 3% from already these levels is actually quite a lot, really. It's just because you bought it at such a high amount that, you know, down an extra 3% could be however many cent, you know, 3 or 4. And if you've got 10,000 quid in Doge, it's a lot of money gone. So peak to low, very poor. Low to date, again, we're looking a bit like BNB here, 30%, not great. You know, even if you want to look at it, be generous like we did with BNB, and look at it at this sort of general nice level, 75%. It's still not beating Bitcoin. On the way down, it's losing more money, and on the way up, it's not making as much money as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the safe bet here. And that's for a reason, because it's doing better than everything else. Which is why I don't understand why people put their money in these altcoins over bad market conditions, and they just lose more money. Even if you put it in Bitcoin and then buy your Doge with that Bitcoin, you're saving yourself so much money. Anyway, the year to date, June, that's that one there. We're looking at a solid 5% increase. Big work there from Doge. And if you want to be generous, because we have to be with these altcoins to give them any sort of case, put it at this mid-period, 40% up. Again, you know, Bitcoin was 55. Not being generous to Bitcoin either. Like, you know, just putting this into perspective. And then the 6 month, you're actually down ever so slightly. Let me actually zoom right in here. On the 6 month, from its low, you're actually down 2%. Probably a little bit more. So far, 2 for 2. Should have put your money in Bitcoin if you put your money in any of these. Next, I want to have a look at Solana. Now, Solana's an interesting one. It obviously got hit very badly with FTX. But let's have a look at it anyway. Peak to date, down 93%. Pretty similar to DOGE. And now remember, this crypto is, you know, number 6 or 5. I think it's 6. Or is it 7? In market cap listings. It's huge. This is a prime example altcoin. This is top of the barrel, you know, top of the range. And you're still down 93.5% from peak to date, not even to low. Whereas Bitcoin was 55 peak to date. And this is the same peak for Solana. For the same period peak anyway. Peak to low, 97%. 97%. Do I even need to say anything? That's the worst so far. The meme coin has outperformed Solana. Now I know Solana has had a very rough year with FTX. A lot of selling, a lot of future selling that's going to happen. Not great news. So that's why I'm going to also look at another meme, not meme, altcoin, Matic, unrelated from Solana. And I don't think FTX was an investor in Matic, or at least a founder or anything like that. But yeah, okay. Very poor. So you would think Solana, it's gone down very low, so hopefully the price will have climbed well, like Bitcoin has, because Bitcoin's doubled itself from its low to date. But we'll actually see its low to date is actually pretty good. I didn't expect that, I'll be real with you. That's a 2x. That is better than Bitcoin. And that's not being generous. Its actual low after the FTX, its current price is 115%. You know, a 2x on your money. So, if you did buy Solana after the FTX crash, you're probably doing quite well now. And this isn't even the best time to sell. If you timed it perfectly, and you say you sold somewhere around one of these peaks, if you sold at the peak, you've done and got 255%, which is really strong for your money. Really good. So actually, Solana's performed very well when it's, you know, when the market has been moving up. Now the year to date, this will be poor now, I can tell you that. June last week, from the low to current price, you'd be down 50%, 45%. Not great. If you want to be generous and put yourself down from before this crash, down 30%. You're still down bad. Better off putting it in Bitcoin if you were buying around this time. For the 6 month, you might be in better luck here because it is after the FTX crash. From the low to the current price, you know, 76%. Definitely not bad. It doesn't beat Bitcoin. Bitcoin was 83, 82, I think. But it's not bad. It's okay. So, in summary, Solana did very poor on the way down, along with all the other cryptos, BNB 65%, Doge 90 whatever percent, Solana 95%, terrible on the way down. But when a bit of money starts going into the market, Solana did very well. It came back up. So where BNB failed, you know, not much price movement upwise or downward, well, a lot downward, not much upward. Doge, not really much upward, a lot downward. Solana is the worst so far for downward, but it's also actually one of the best for upward, to give it credit. So, you know, there are a few altcoins that during certain periods of time do perform very well. This last 6 months has been good for Solana. Its price, anyway. So, in a sense, I'm wrong and I'm right. You know, you could have put your money in Bitcoin and you'd probably be better off. I mean, let me just check the year to date. I mean, that will be terrible. If you didn't put it in Bitcoin, you would be crying pretty hard right now. But if you held Bitcoin all the way down, and then after FTX, for whatever reason, you thought it would be a good idea to put your Bitcoin into Solana, you'd actually would have probably made a decent decision if you were to sell it right now, or even any sort of time afterwards. So, in a way, I'm wrong. Now, I do always say there will be one or two altcoins that will outperform. I don't really think Solana is actually one of them, because it's quite situational. You know, it's if you're willing to turn a blind eye to the devastation that it took for how long? I mean, basically a year. How many days? Yeah, a year. And just focus on these last few months, 6 months of decent price action, then yeah, go for it. Be selective. This is just the facts. So I would still, to be honest, put a dub for Bitcoin here. It's performed better over the whole period of time. Now, for my last coin, I want to look at Matic. Now, Matic, US dollar, is an interesting one. Okay, so we actually have our peak up here. Okay, and then to our dates, Matic is doing quite terribly actually at the moment. Down 77%. So, again, BNB 65, we're taking another few jumps down, and coins that were unaffected hugely by FTX, not in the same way that Solana and like Osmosis were, we're losing another 10%. And this is almost per altcoin we go down, which should tell you that, even if it's a great coin, great development, great developer team, great community, great roadmap, great foundations, great problem that it's solving, it still doesn't mean that it won't get absolutely ruined during the bear market from its peak. 77%, Bitcoin, 55. Peak to low. You're looking at a minus 90%, which is pretty rough. I mean, that's similar to DOGE, So, I don't want to piss anybody off here, but for people who bought Matic at the peak, and for people that bought DOGE at the peak, you're currently basically the same. Or not currently, sorry. From extremes, you are the same. You fluctuate from the same. And to be honest with you, with currently where the price is, you're probably not too far away from DOGE investors, where they are currently. I mean, low to here, we've got 110%. Okay, actually, excuse me, these sort of small wick ups, it always looks so much smaller compared to the huge drop that they have. But that's double your money. Fair play. Double your money if you bought at the low and are currently holding. And again, if you want to be nice, look at it before this sort of drop. Be nice, a bit up. 230%. Very reasonable over a 5, 4, 6 month period. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. So, Matic again struggles on the way down. Really takes a beating. Compared to Bitcoin's 55%, it loses 90. Bitcoin's peak to low was 78%. But you're still losing, give or take, 10%. And Matic seems to be one of the best here. Compared to the, ETH did well, BNB did well. ETH and BNB, ETH was 61%, BNB was 65%. DOGE was just ruined, 90 plus. Solana was ruined, 90 plus. Matic just below that 90%. And actually, I will be accurate here. And I'm still not. Anyway, yeah. just below 90% if you wanted to be meticulous. And then on the way up, to be fair, has done well. So Matic and Solana seem to be the ones that have done well. And these are the ones that have good foundations, good teams, good roadmaps, good problem solvings. They've done well when a bit of money has come back into the market. But when we're in a bear market, when it's only foreseeably bad news, they've done terribly compared to Bitcoin. Everything has. Which, again, I want to take it as a dub for Bitcoin. You know, why would you put your money in these things when you're going to lose 90% on the way down, and then sure you double your money from the low, but if you bought up here, you're still down whatever 80%, 77% compared to Bitcoin's 55. So if you're looking at it long term, Bitcoin is the much better asset to hold. If you're looking at timing the market and hopefully putting your money into a riskier alt at sort of a low, then Matic and Solana and ETH are good bets. You know, they go up more than Bitcoin. But the way they go up, as you can see, they've been going up and then they just also suddenly go down. So again, if it's something that you're trying to hold long term, it's not a good idea. If you buy it low here and you're hoping to go to the moon, you will double your money, which is nothing to scoff at, ever. But it's not the safety that Bitcoin provides. So if you're looking to sort of build up a bit of wealth now, maybe these altcoins aren't for you. Maybe they are. I don't know. Nothing is financial advice in this video. I just wanted to show you a few sort of metrics, sort of gauge a few of the top altcoins. And I do believe that now is the sort of time that it's okay to put a bit of money towards these alts, I think BTC, it's broken its 50% dominance. I don't think it's going to go much higher. I think it'll reach somewhere around 60. So I think over the next few months, probably the rest of the year, alts are going to go down compared to Bitcoin at least. Now, whether that translates to them going down in the USD values, I don't know. But I would assume so. Anyway, just to make sure we cover everything, we'll have a look at the yearly. Last week of June low. You're up 60% on Matic from the year to date. And for the 6 month, you're down 10. Again, these alts, it's just a riskier gamble. It's all about your risk tolerance. Personally, it's not for me. I would just rather hold Bitcoin through the stormy weather and put them into alts when Bitcoin launches us into the next bull market. Anyway, hopefully this video helped you. If you want to cover any other coins in the next sort of video that I do like this, please comment them down below. I'll just go over a few little bits and bobs. If there's any other metric you want to see, please let me know. I'm sure there's a few that I've left out here. If you want to see it in Satoshi, let me know. If you preferred it in USD, let me know. Please tell me in the comments. Helps a load. I don't want to be making content that nobody really cares about. So just tell me what you want, and I'll happily make it for you. So thanks again for watching. Leave a sub if you feel like subbing. Would really appreciate it. And yeah, take care. Thanks a mil.